Hi everyone, my name is Christopher Belen Aguilar, and I wanted to thank you very much for making the time to come out to support our cast and our crew here today. So thank you. It is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, so I would like to take a moment of silence for those who have lost their lives to suicide. At this time, I'd like you to please silence your cell phones, put them in the off position or silence them. That'd be really great for the reading today. I wanted to just say a personal thanks to my family who are here today supporting me, my mom, my dad, and my auntie. It just shows, like, especially in the Filipino American culture, to have family support you on ventures like this is a huge encouragement to doing things in this industry and in the arts. So I just wanted to do a special thanks. And so thank you. There will be an opportunity for feedback. So at the end of the show, you will be given a little post-show guide about resources, and there's QR codes to a Google form that you are able to fill out at your earliest convenience to be able to provide feedback and help me elevate this play. I'm continuing to rewrite it and to continuing to revise it, so you are literally a part of that growth. This is the very first public reading of Family Story. We had our first reading in 2019, so this has been a work in progress. Okay, and then I'd like to read a quick disclaimer, and then we'll begin. Some of the topics we address in today's event may be sensitive for certain participants. If you happen to feel uncomfortable or triggered with anything that we mention, feel free to leave the room and have a moment for yourself. Please note that conversations here are not a substitute for therapy. With that, I will put this back. Oh, one more thing. Jenna Lee, our lovely guest here, Jenna Lee, she has provided us with resources in paper format. So you're more than welcome to take those home with you today. So I'll have them presented here on music stands, and as we converse and talk after the play, we are welcome to take these lovely resources she's provided us in color. Which is so great. Color printing it's so amazing. So yeah, so I'll have that presented out for you all today. Okay? All right. Thank you.
Family Story by Christopher Belen Aguilar. Characters: Carrie, Stan's niece, played by Caitlin Thompson. Stan, played by Branan Manalo. Sid, Stan's brother, played by Jonathan Tuala. Pat, Stan's sister-in-law, played by Rachel Gomez. Joyce, Stan and Sid's mother, played by Jennifer Kiamzon. Joseph, Stan and Sid's cousin, played by Albert Schutzman. Lucas, Stan and Sid's father, played by Sonny Vinuya. And I'm Tenera Sanders, reading the stage directions for you tonight. The setting is the suburbs of Orange County, California, and Dover-Foxcroft, Maine. The time is present day. And we have a foreword as well. We will never know just how long he was fighting this war within himself, but last week it consumed him fully, and he succumbed by taking his own life. I would encourage anyone struggling to land on a simple answer to realize that serious matters of mental health do not yield simple, convenient answers. Darren Chris, from his Instagram dedication post to his brother, Charles W. Chris, April 1985 to February 2022. Act 1, Scene 1.
You got a Slurpee for free. I caught you looking at me.
A visual art studio, bare and minimum. Painter's tools laid across the floor. A Bluetooth music sound speaker playing Lizzie McAlpine's All My Ghosts. The artist is Stan, wearing a beautiful yellow dress. They go by they. We see them painting. They're happy. At least we think. Lights shift while the music fades away. A married couple at a support group. Joyce and Lucas speak to their peers.
Hello, my name is Lucas. I'm not good at this stuff. I only came for the food at first. Then I started listening to all of you and I see that you all have hope. That is what my wife and I need right now.
Lights shift back to Stan painting at their studio. A tight colored spotlight hits Stan's face. We're now in Stan's mind. They don't talk to the audience. They talk with themselves in this particular light.
Just do it. Now. I've come all this way, so do it. Now. Do it! What about my family? My family! Oh, forget it. This is about me, my art, and my death.
Light shifts back to Lucas and Joyce.
I always imagined my son would make it in this world, make a difference. This is not what I had in mind. We've always supported Stan, which is why we're here, I guess. But because now, the only time we can't possibly support them, I'm sorry. Do I let go?
Light shifts back to Stan's spotlighted mind.
It's time.
Lights dim as we hear a banging on Stan's door. A voice from outside.
Uncle Stan! Uncle Stan, I know you're in there. Let me in. Uncle Stan!
Scene 2. Family game night in the De La Cruz household. Sid and Pat own this house. Joyce and Lucas are here too. Along with Joseph, who wears a Roman Catholic collar, and Stan, still wearing a version of the yellow dress. Seems to be a little distracted with their phone. They are all in the middle of playing the Resistance board game.
Put your phone away and focus. Do you approve of this mission or not?
I approve.
But then you're allowing Joseph and Dad to win this game.
Fine, then I reject.
Hey, don't let her get to you that easily.
I wouldn't if Pat wouldn't be such a control freak.
I'm not controlling. I'm just right.
Say, if you were right, then I would be a spy, but I'm not.
That's what a spy would say.
I love this game.
Pat's phone rings.
It's Carrie. Hello? Oh, hang on. It's FaceTime. Let me get you. Hello? I love you. I miss you.
Mom, can I have the password for Netflix?
Why, honey? Don't you already have access?
My roommate wants to watch a movie for her old time.
Carrie, you can't just be giving away our Netflix password.
Mom, she's poor.
She afforded that university. She's not poor. She can't have the password. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Love that dress, Uncle Stan.
Thank you.
Oh, it's game night.
I know, first Sunday of the month. Let me guess, the Resistance.
Bingo.
You're playing bingo?
No, bingo, like, you're right.
Who says bingo anymore, Mom?
Anyway, we're in the middle of playing a game, so if all you want is a password, then no. The answer is no. Anything else?
It's not fair.
Life's not fair.
I knew you would be like this.
Then why ask, Carrie?
Because I thought you'd at least change a little since, you started counseling with Dad.
Thanks for telling the whole family.
Doesn't anyone know?
Well, now they do.
Sorry, not sorry. I'll help pay for our Netflix.
Well, you might as well just give your roommate money.
That's a good idea. Can I just loan her the money?
No, that's probably what she wants you to do.
She just needs to watch the movie.
Then let her watch it on your laptop.
She wants to access it from her phone.
That's her problem, Carrie, not yours. Goodbye.
Mom.
Goodbye.
She hangs up.
Did you just hang up on your daughter?
Oh, she needs to stop only calling when she wants or needs something.
But that's precious time with Carrie.
Mom, don't try to guilt trip me.
I'm not. I'm just saying you need to find a balance between being strict and being right.
Well said, Mom.
You're seeking counseling.
Yeah.
Honey,
Carrie already said it.
that's none of anyone's business.
It's not like I was going to tell them what we talk about.
Yeah, it's totally our business.
And let's let them be private about their lives.
Nothing is private in this family.
Stan has a point.
There's tons of things we're private about, Stan. You just don't know it.
No, I mean we're open with each other. Of course, I don't need to know what goes on in session, but just the fact that you were seeking marriage counseling and not telling us just seems a little sus.
Sus?
Suspicious, Tita.
Well, we didn't want you to know because we didn't want anyone to worry.
You didn't want them to know.
Let's not get into this, honey.
No, let's get into it. It's fine. It involves them, so I think it's fine.
No, it's not fine. Let's play the game.
Do you two want to pray about it?
No.
Don't shut prayer down that quickly.
How about we talk about Stan and his phone?
Their phone. And what about my phone? You're just changing the subject. Are you ashamed of counseling?
Of course not.
I think you are.
Of all times to be opinionated, you choose now.
What's wrong with me being opinionated?
I want you to be, just not now.
You can't control whether I'm opinionated or not.
Sid, don't be so defensive.
No! Our therapist said I needed to be more outspoken. I'm not being defensive.
So Stan, why all the texting? What can be so important?
Pat, I see what you're doing. You just can't accept the fact that someone like you needs some professional help.
Stan, don't be so disrespectful.
I can stick up for myself, Mom. Yes, so we didn't tell you because of me. That's it. I didn't want you to know. Primarily because I didn't want to see that woman in the first place, and I don't really agree with what your brother wanted. But then I realized that by me disagreeing was the prime reason why we needed counseling in the first place. So what? I didn't want the whole family to know. But Stan, you have to understand, not everything is your business.
Says the woman who's asking me who's blowing up my phone.
That's different.
How is that different?
It's probably one of his, their grinder dates.
Well, actually, yeah. Thank you very much. It's one of my masseurs.
Stan, I thought you stopped that.
Well, since we're laying it out on the table, I might as well play a game too. After all, it's game night.
The tight spotlight on Stan. The whole family freezes.
No, just fight it. Just breathe. I'm here to play. Stop it. I don't need to share. Just stop. Just stop. I'm triggered. Not only by the masseurs, but by Pat. Just focus. Focus!
Life shifts back to reality.
You're seeing a prostitute again?
Masseur!
Whatever, they're prostitutes. It's illegal and you know that.
Well, it's in the privacy of their own home, and it's two consensual adults.
In which you pay for.
I thought you were seeking help for that.
I was. But I realized that it's not a problem. It's just a vice.
That's BS. It's a problem, Stan.
Yeah, well, so is your atheism, Pat.
Left field, and not the same problem.
How do you not believe in a God?
We are definitely not going down this road.
Well, which is probably another reason why you need counseling.
I agree with Pat. It's a problem.
Oh, yeah? Come on, Joe, you understand.
Don't, Stan.
Don't what?
The tight spotlight on Stan again, and the family freezes.
I'm such a loser. My family's right. I'm wasting money. I'm the problem. I'm the problem. I'm the problem.
Light shifts back to reality.
Wait, it's happening. Wait. My mind spell. Sorry, I have to take my meds.
Stan reaches into their pocket and pulls out their wallet, in which a small Ziploc bag containing 3 pills is placed. Stan opens the bag.
Those are addicting, Stan.
Mom, remember, we have to let them try whatever it takes.
Yes. I want my mind spells to stop.
And if it's been helping you, then it's okay, Stan. I'm sorry. I was crying.
Stan,
It's okay. I'm sorry too.
Stan takes the medicine.
You gotta love bipolar disorder.
Scene 3. A bar. That same night. Stan now holds a pint of beer. Joseph is drinking a Cosmo.
So can you honestly say that you still want to be a priest?
There's no turning back now, Stan. This is my one and only life. This is my holy freaking order. This is the order in which I only know how to live my life. I care about a lot of things, and the one thing that really resonates with me is God. Always has been. And I've yearned for resolution for the life God gave me, and the only one who could help me through the horrible times was God. Through the turmoil of my relationship with my mother, to my loving codependent sister, to the math professor who screwed me and left me.
Oh my God. Professor Truckee. I haven't thought about that guy in a long time.
He was my everything, my best kept secret, other than you, my real true love.
Okay, I think now I need another drink.
Now, don't get all awkward on me now.
I think it's too late.
Don't you feel the true love between us?
You have to define true love. My view of the subject is a bit tainted, because I seek love like I seek pleasure, in all the wrong places. So, before I confess, dear one, how I really feel about you, then you must tell me what true love is.
True love is you and me. I also know that love is made up of wrong timing. Yes, Professor Truckee was a dick, but it was the right time to be a dick.
Manny, another drink, please!
You've had a lot of alcohol tonight.
Oh, look at you. All concerned.
Well, I'm just saying you gotta be safe.
Well, I don't care if I live or die.
You don't mean that.
Yeah, I guess.
You can't mean that.
I swear, if I could write a novel, I would.
At least you can paint a picture.
Yeah? I can draw on this napkin.
Some of the greatest ideas started on a napkin.
Give me a topic.
Depression.
What is depression like?
Yeah.
Alright, well, it's like this.
Stan begins to draw on the napkin. Joseph freezes as a spotlight on Stan appears.
It's like the world has no idea that you exist or live. That the entire atmosphere drives on nothing. That you are dead already, suffering alive. And nothing matters. Nothing. Just you, yourself, and nobody. Nobody. And it hurts. It's painful. And the worst part is that it just tears you apart. That there are no words that can explain the darkness that you feel. That you are feeling nothing. Nothing. Even this freaking fly that flies by my side right now matters. It doesn't really. Feel this fly. It probably has a home and a family, and it probably breathes more life than I do when I'm depressed.
Stan kills the fly.
I'm a murderer. I'm a painter. I'm a genius. That doesn't matter. That doesn't even feel a thing. Because if I do feel, then it feels worse than my death. And this fly has it better. Kill me. Kill me. Bigger entity goes, just freaking kill me. Because the worst part of this whole mind game is that no one can hear this ranting and this raving, because no words can describe the opposite of this mania. Depression. You bastard.
Lights shift as Joseph unfreezes, and Stan finishes the drawing and shows it's Joseph.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And that pain just lasts and lasts until there's no hope.
There's always hope.
Well, you have to say things like that.
I'm speaking my truth not because I'm a seminarian, but because I actually believe in hope. You just need something in your life that will give you purpose and passion.
Maybe you're right.
When you're passionate, you're really good. Great, even. Not everyone can draw the way you do on a napkin.
I have to make a real change.
That's what you always say.
Well, it has to be something huge.
Like, killing yourself?
What did you say?
Forget it, Stan.
No. You said something very profound.
Manny, drink, please.
No, Manny, we're good. I have to be sober to really think this one through.
Stan, seriously.
No, Joe. I'm serious here. Look, hear me out. So, let's say I'm just done living this life. I mean, I have been doing well in my career, and I have been doing well in, well, everything. You know, I got good meds for my mind spells, and I haven't had a seizure in, like, years. Oh, there must be some way for me to kill myself where it makes sense for someone to kill themselves.
What does that even mean?
Assisted suicide.
Holy what?
No, what if I could prove my case of terminal illness and just kill myself correctly?
Correctly?
I gotta look this up.
Stan pulls out their cell phone.
Stan, there is no reason for you to kill yourself.
It has to be evidence.
Okay, Stan, there are actual people who wish they could live, like the actual terminally ill.
My mental illness is a terminal illness.
You don't have a strong enough case, Perry Mason.
Try Elle Woods.
Seriously, Stan? This is making me sick just thinking about this. I'm gonna pay for our drinks and then I'm gonna lift home. Do you care to come with me?
No, I got this planned out. I have to tell my family during game night next month.
That's insane!
Just go home, Joseph. I got this.
You're actually gonna tell the family that you want to die by assisted suicide.
I got this.
I have to think this is a joke.
It's no joke. But thank you
For what?
for the idea.
Scene 4. Game night, a month later. The whole family prepares to play off topic, except for Stan, who sits aloof.
Come on and play, Stan.
I can't.
But this is your favorite game.
Not now.
What's bothering you, Stan?
I've been thinking a lot about death lately.
That's morbid. Why?
It's just been getting tough. I don't know, living?
But you're doing so well.
Are you taking your medicine?
Actually, yes. It's just when I was struggling, I had so much to work for. And now that I have a little bit of notoriety, I have no drive, no passion for anything.
There's a lot to be thankful for, Stan. Focus on those things.
Look, I appreciate the gratitude from your dad, but I'm being very serious when I say that I am thinking about death.
Stan, don't!
I've been thinking a lot about this, and I was going to come up with some creative way for me to tell you that I am going to kill myself.
Excuse me?
Stan, that's ridiculous.
Why? Because have you been in my head?
Don't talk to me like I don't understand.
Look, I don't mean to be rude. Just imagine, though. Imagine me killing myself.
Stan, stop talking like that. We need to get you help. Pat, we should call for help when someone is having those thoughts, right?
Yeah, we can.
There must be a number we can call.
I don't need that right now. I just need my family.
I don't know what to say then.
I'm sorry, Mom. I know it's against our religion.
Yes, it is.
How long have you been thinking about this?
For a while. I've thought a lot about it, and I thought of all of you. And I couldn't do it alone.
So you want to do it with us?
You're asking our approval?
Not exactly, possibly a blessing? I don't know.
You're not doing this. But I'm glad you came to us first before you even tried to attempt it.
No, I'm really going to kill myself. Look, I've lived a great life. I just don't want to deal with the highs and lows anymore.
Isn't that what the meds are for?
I agree with Mom. The meds must help with these feelings. Are you really taking them?
Look, I don't want to talk about meds right now.
So you're not taking them.
I am. It's not about the meds, though. It's about my life.
Which you don't want to live anymore.
I'm desperate here.
For attention?
Dude, you're not helping.
Helping? How do you expect us to help you? To even talk about this is ridiculous. I just think you're being like a little kid again.
This is not little kid problems.
Then grow up. It's real life. Deal.
Just hear me out.
Do you have a plan?
Yes.
What?
Look, I'm gonna have to move and plead a case to the judge. It'll take a while to get all the proper paperwork approved, but I think I have a plausible case. And I am working with a lawyer.
What? This is not true, Stan. This can't be true.
Look, I'm ready to do this, whether you like it or not.
Whoa! What? So why even come to us if you've already made a decision?
I had a feeling you wouldn't approve of this, so I had to think ahead and find out how I could do it safely and intelligently.
Safely and intelligently?
Look, I'm hoping one of you will help me.
Help you?
This is really stupid. Do you really expect us to believe you?
No, I don't expect you to do or say anything really. It's just that I wanted to approach this from a logical side. My mental illness has caused me to do some really cool things and some horrible things. I feel like I've reached a plateau where I have a decision to make. And ending my life really seems like the best thing to do.
Stan, life is so precious. You have so many years to live.
Why would you want to end your life? Why now? Like, why not leave it up to fate or God's plan, even?
God's plan? God's plan. If it was His plan to give me a mental illness, then I supersede that plan and I choose death myself. It will take nearly 2 years for my case to be approved by a judge. So I have time to live. People who get mental illnesses on average get 4 to 6 months.
There's no way you are equaling a terminal illness to your current situation.
Yeah, why not?
Because this too shall pass. Suicidal thoughts are only temporary.
Yes, I know. And suicide is permanent. But the cool thing is, it's not called suicide. It's called death with dignity.
I can't believe I'm hearing this.
There's a whole Death with Dignity Act. It's only in some states, but
We need to pray about this.
look, I don't mean to be rude, Mom, but wouldn't you be happy that you don't have to deal with my shortcomings anymore?
How could you say that? I'm your mother and I love you, no matter what.
Well, when I was homeless in New York, I hit rock bottom. All of you saved me, yet again, hospitalization after hospitalization, just continuing to save me. You know, what if you can stop doing that? It will be a major weight lifted off your shoulders.
You bring so much joy to this family.
Why do you think you've lived with us all these years? Yes, it's been difficult, but I remember the good times. And those times far outweigh the bad times.
That's touching, bro. But I've made my decision.
Then why discuss it with everybody?
Look, you can join me. This is more like of an invite.
An invite? Can you hear yourself right now? Nobody in their right mind would allow this.
It's like my own art piece.
I knew it. This is about your art.
No, not exactly.
People are actually suffering right now.
I'm suffering.
You want me to be real with you, Stan?
Yes.
Each person on this planet has a purpose. A purpose that I've learned comes when you least expect it. You know, we like to pretend we got it all figured out, but we're all taking it one day at a time, doing what we can in every instance possible. Living life is not just about work, art, family, money. It's about living each day so that we can make a difference. And you've done that just by living. Just by living your life, how you've lived it. What mistakes or successes, it doesn't matter. It's all irrelevant. Irrelevant to the fact that you, Stan, are a precious human being. And to take your own life, to not give the opportunity to live a chance, then you're not only pissing on your future, you're pissing on all of us. You are literally pissing on your entire family. And we have never given up on you, Stan. Never.
I feel loved. I do. I just think that this is my next best step in life.
Why don't you pray about it first?
No prayer can sway me, Mom.
Makinig ka sa nanay mo. Listen to your mother.
Just offer it to Jesus. Surrender yourself to God.
It's almost as if I'm surrendering my own illness to him.
Joseph.
Your mom is right. It's not your life, it's a gift from God. Only He can take it away from us. No one else.
What will our relatives say? Nakakahiya.
What does that mean?
Shameful. It's shameful, Stan. Have you even thought of what your Lola would have said about this?
She's dead.
But she raised you better than this.
She would have at least considered supporting me.
In the image of God. This is what you want to look like?
Look, I can really care less about what my image is.
Now that's BS.
Look, I've learned that I have to let go of my faith and believe in a higher power to do something like this.
Something like this is simply unacceptable, Stan. I won't allow it, and that's it.
I won't stand behind you on this one, Stan.
Neither will I.
I can't stand. I'm sorry.
Wait, don't be sorry, Mom. You have nothing to be sorry about. Stan, look what you're doing to the family. Are you really willing to do this to Mom and Dad?
I'm not doing this to you.
Well,
I want to do this with you.
it seems like you've already made up your mind, made up your decision.
So none of you are going to back me up on this. I'm not moving for another month. Hopefully by then, I'll have you by my side in this.
Stan starts to leave.
But no, I am leaving with or without you.
Scene 5. Joyce and Lucas's house a couple of days later. Lucas is doing the dishes while Joyce is eating a snack.
Uy, bilisan mo na nga yan. You better finish that soon. My novena starts in 5 minutes.
Yes, Mom.
I need complete silence while I pray.
Yes, Mom.
You're not even listening.
Yes, Mom.
Don't forget to clean the shelves after I pray. I told you weeks ago to do the shelves. Ang gulo-gulo. It looks so cluttered. When I was at Jasmine's, I saw how pretty everything is. I want our house to look like that. Fine, I'll pray now. But those dishes, bilisan mo.
Look, I'm doing the best that I can.
Lucas.
I cleaned the floors this morning and the yard this afternoon. And maybe after I'm done here, I will do the shelves. But I'm tired. Gusto ko na humiga and sleep.
Sige, matulog ka na.
Pati ba yan? I don't need your permission to sleep.
Fine. You can stay up.
Honey,
What?
pwede ba? Can you stop
What? I have to pray. Just make sure.
to finish the dishes? I know.
My Bible study says to forgive and forget anything that doesn't serve me. Right now, this is not serving me. But I forgive you. And I forget this tone that you're speaking at me with.
You know, not everything is in the Bible.
You should pray with me. Our son needs prayers.
Joyce grabs the remote to turn on the novena live feed. Catholic chanting is being heard.
I still can't believe Stan is doing this. Do you really think he'll go through with it?
Damn.
Oh, please. That is just a phase. Why get used to it now?
They won't do it, and that's final.
Do you think it's something we did or said that made him feel this way?
I think it's more about their mental illness.
But he can't go through with this. He's usually more positive. He knows better than to do something like this. I mean, can you believe he's working with a lawyer?
I don't believe it. Stan is just not thinking clearly. Has anything happened to them lately?
I don't think so. He wasn't even dating anybody.
Maybe they're lonely.
Well, he needs to get over it.
They. Why can't you just say they?
Because it's ridiculous.
Maybe Stan is doing this because you won't call them they.
The whole pronoun thing is ridiculous. And so is this suicide thing. It's euthanasia.
And what's euthanasia?
Assisted suicide. It's against everything I believe in. We have to give him help.
Well, that's a good idea. Maybe if we can talk with their therapist.
Yes. I can call them in the morning. I think the name of the clinic he goes to is called Telluride. Hopefully they can talk with him. In the meantime, I'm just going to pray now. Are you going to pray with me?
Maybe.
I think you should. If Stan is serious, then we need to.
Joyce kneels in front of the TV. Lucas kneels shortly after. Scene 6. Outside the family garage at Sid's house a month later. Stan is sitting on a suitcase, smoking a cigarette, and Joseph is playing on his phone. Joyce enters.
I thought you quit.
It's just a lot on my mind.
This is really happening.
This is really happening.
There is so much of me wanting to lay down in front of your car right now.
That would be epic.
So much of me wants to kill that lawyer of yours
Yet another epic move.
and pop your tires. It was your dad's idea.
Go Dad.
Stan, don't go to Maine.
I thought you all approved of this.
What?
Mom,
What?
just stop talking, Mom.
What?
I might have lied a bit.
Wait. So your family is not supporting you on this?
Nope.
I am so glad.
We never approved of this.
You had me fooled this whole time!
But you still get me, right, Joe?
I don't know, Stan. This is totally flipped now.
Look, they'll come around.
No, we won't, Stan.
Look, you've made peace with this, Joe. You have. I need you right now.
Need me?
Yes!
You came up with this whole idea at a bar.
You came up with this at a bar?
No! I've been thinking about taking my own life for a while now.
Bull!
Death with dignity came up at the bar, okay? But I've had suicidal thoughts before.
That is not the same thing at all.
Come on, Joe. Don't be like this.
I cannot back you up on this one.
Literally 5 minutes ago, you were on the same page as me.
Because I thought that I was with your family on this one.
It's still the same.
No, it's not. Your family has been my real family. They mean so much to me. And all I keep thinking is, don't they mean that much to you?
Joseph!
Your family loves you more than you know, and what I would give to have that same love thrown at me. Your livelihood has been your family. You had so much going for you, and now you are completely alone on this one.
I want you both to leave right now.
I don't want you two to fight. Settle it. Now.
I think we have settled it already.
I think so too.
Joseph exits.
Well, I think I just lost my best friend.
I may not lie in front of your car, but I feel like you are going to drive over me anyway. Good night, Stan. Get some rest.
End of Act 1. There will be a 5-minute break. Scene 1. Dover Foxcroft, Maine, 2 years later. A messy apartment a night before the trial. This is where Stan has been living. Artwork is all over the place. Stan is pacing quickly throughout the room. They contemplate calling someone, but then put the phone down. They continue painting for a bit and grab a snack and stuff their face. This is mania for Stan. The lights shift and the spotlight hits Stan's face.
What have I done? All this time, all this energy spent, all this money made, and for what? For whom? I am completely alone. Everything I've worked for these past 2 years have come to this. The final trial, the final debate over this topic. I have my case and I am going to prove it. This is my time. This is my chance. This is my fate. This is incredibly stupid. What are you thinking? Why do you think you can get away with this? This is insane. I am insane. Nobody cares.
Slowly they fall into a depression.
Nobody is here. I am a cruel, cruel person. I deserve to die.
Lights return to reality. Stan reaches for a bunch of knives from the drawer. Pulls out two, one in each hand. They run for the canvas and stab the canvas.
Ah!
They throw the knife to the ground. Spotlight hits their face.
I should just do it. I should just do it now. Do it! I'm done!
Light shift. Stan picks up one knife and stares at it deeply. Lights up on the other side of the stage. Joseph is pacing in his room, crying, holding his priest collar. He throws it at the wall. He reaches for his phone, decides to call someone, but then refuses and throws the phone into the bed. Stan starts to cut their wrist. Joseph huddles in the corner.
Ah!
Stan grabs their wrist to stop the bleeding. Phone rings. Stan knows it's Joseph from the caller ID. Stan cries and doesn't answer.
Of all times, I get your voicemail. Carrie told me your trial is tomorrow. Anyway, I left the seminary like for good. I just thought you should know. Life doesn't make sense when you're not around. I miss you. Call me back. Goodbye.
Lights fade out on Joseph's side of the stage. Stan is huddled over in pain. Scene 2. Stan stands in front of the jury. Bandages are wrapped around their arms, and they continue to plead their case.
I'm human. I've had a lot of doubts. But one thing that doesn't have a bit of doubt is my belief that what I have is a terminal illness. You, as in the psychiatrists that have deemed me to have a disorder for life. What if there was a way to put order in that diagnosis? Let me live my life the way that I want to live it and end it. If you don't believe in me, that's all right, but I just ask you to see my fate. Bipolar disorder has affected every part of my being. In this lifetime, I have done amazing things that I am both proud of and ashamed of. I'm not just like you, because I know you choose life. But believe me when I say I choose death. I will die with or without you, but if it's with your agreement, then I can leave this world with a specific understanding. An understanding that is deeper than all of us. We've all worked really hard to gain something, and in this time of preparation, I have gained a deeper purpose. And isn't purpose all we're striving for in life? This is my purpose. I don't have to be in this one alone. You can stand tall with me on this journey. You can be a part of something great. Would you rather I kill myself on my own? Leaving a note somewhere with my final words? That you have the power to join me and not let me do this on my own. We will all die someday, and my someday is now.
Scene 3. A diner. Carrie and Stan are finishing their meal.
So, aren't you, gonna miss great food?
Look, I haven't won yet.
But your speech said you would die with or without them.
Good point.
So you really need their approval.
Yeah, I kinda do.
But why? If you're gonna do it anyway.
It's supposed to not make sense. Your Lola said something profound before I left Orange County. Something like, life isn't supposed to make sense. And that really kind of hit me. I mean, she's old, and she still can't make sense of things. And I'm old, so I must not have to make sense of everything.
Okay. Anyway, my girlfriend thinks you should reconsider.
Carrie, I appreciate you communicating with the family for me.
School's only train right away. It's almost as if you planned for me to visit. Wait, did you plan for me to visit?
Oh, I couldn't plan, but I hoped.
Huh. That's sweet.
You are the smartest one in our family. And when you reach your 30s, I think there's a lot of jaded thoughts that come into play. But at your age, right at the end of college, there's this air of joy that can only be had when you're totally oblivious of what's to come.
I'm not oblivious.
Well, how can you be sure of things you don't know? You know, it's a unique time filled with joy. Just breathe it in.
I have problems too.
I'm not discounting that. I'm just saying you have the whole world ahead of you.
And I can say the same thing to you.
But it's not the same. You know, you have new experiences and new. Dang it! You know, you can say the same things to me. Shoot, I thought I'd be inspirational right now.
Uncle Stan, you're not that inspirational anymore. I'm sorry if that hurts you.
No, you could never hurt me. You're just telling me how you feel. Go on.
Okay. We read this book in our class about our whys, and I kept thinking about you and your situation. Do you remember that time at my piano recital when I didn't know what to play? And I had been practicing and practicing, but I just sat there and my fingers were just moving and I couldn't feel or remember even when I had to play. And I think I continued to play because I remembered why I played in the first place.
And it's to win the competition.
No, it was because of Grandpa, Mom's dad. You know, he had died that year, and his face popped in my head during the recital, and he gave me the reason to play. So I want you to ask yourself why. I mean, don't answer that now because I feel like I've heard your reasoning. I just want you to sit with that until you find out. And when you do find out, just call me and tell me your answer, whether you get approved or not. Just tell me why.
Scene 4. The support group from the top of the play with Lucas and Joyce.
I can't help them. I can't. And now that they're so far away, I can't even help myself. I've never felt so unable. Each day I think if we were to lose them, then I haven't been a good mother. There has to be a way to love them and to save them. If they'd only listen to the Lord and be guided to the light, the right light, then maybe Stan can realize their purpose in this world. That's all they have to see, how much light they bring us. I'm even trying this whole pronoun thing. I seriously don't know what else to do. If they get approved, then I'm not only losing Stan, but I'm losing faith in this world. And faith is the only thing I have.
Now I remember Stan was little, and they used to run around screaming as loud as they can. I'd get so mad, but that's all a kid wants, right? To be heard, to be loved. Stan is screaming right now. They're so mad at this world. They're so mad that they'd rather be out of it. I can't imagine what's that like. I feel for them. I do. But I have to say, I'm screaming. I'm mad. I'm mad at them so much. If only they knew how much I could scream at their face and just yell, "You're not my son. You've taken my son. Let go of his soul." Let them go.
Scene 5. A few days later. Carrie is outside Stan's apartment. We now see what we couldn't see at the top of the play. Stan is inside the apartment, but we don't see them yet.
Uncle Stan! Uncle Stan, I know you're in there. Let me in. Uncle Stan, I got your message. You can't possibly do it. Not now. Come on. I'm sorry, okay? We're all sorry.
Go away!
Please don't do anything yet.
I'm serious, Carrie. Go away.
I'm begging you. Just let me in and we can talk.
There's nothing left to talk about. It's not approved. You all win.
This isn't about winning. This is about your life. Only your life.
Please, just go away.
I'm afraid of what you might do.
Carrie, I know you care. I get it. But please, leave me alone.
I'm scared. I can't do this.
What's wrong?
I think Stan is going to do it. Like, right now, Mom, I can't be here for that.
Carrie, is Stan there?
Yeah, they won't let me in.
Put the phone up to the door so Stan can hear us.
Carrie puts the phone up to the door.
Stan, I know you can hear us. We're here, okay? Okay, we're here. Carrie, can you see them through the window?
Carrie looks to see.
No, they put it up the windows.
Stan, we're here. And not just for you, but we're here.
Yes, Stan, we are here. We're all here. Your mom, Dad, Joseph, your brother. We love you, Stan. Don't do this.
Are you serious right now?
We're still at the airport.
Uncle Stan? Uncle Stan? They're not answering.
Honey, don't worry. We'll be there soon.
Scene 6. Inside Stan's apartment, an hour later. Painter's tools are laid across the floor like they were at the top of the play. Stan is seated at the dining table in the beautifully now tattered yellow dress, while Carrie is standing at the front door with the door wide open. Stan is holding a bottle of lethal medication. The whole family appears at the door. They each give Carrie a huge hug. Pat walks into the apartment and immediately goes into the kitchen, completely ignoring Stan. She gathers all of the knives. Stan puts the bottle of lethal medication into their pocket.
Don't worry. I won't stab myself.
I'm still locking them in the car.
Uncle Stan has lethal medication in their pocket.
Carrie!
We'll deal with that later. What matters now is their immediate safety.
Well, thank you for your professional help.
Pat exits. Joyce hugs Stan.
Have you eaten?
No.
Joyce goes to the kitchen in search of food.
Give us the medication.
I won't.
Stan?
No, Dad. I don't care anymore. Why should I?
We all came across the country for you, Stan.
We've come to take you home.
We miss you.
Stop. Stop it.
Stan stands up and goes to the bathroom, slams the door.
Is he safe in there?
Are they safe in there?
Sorry, are they safe in there?
Are there any knives in the bathroom?
Oh no, they might have a knife in there.
I don't have a knife in here.
Oh good.
Joyce approaches the bathroom door.
Stan, we love you so much.
I still have the lethal medication though.
A moment later, Stan opens the bathroom door.
I had to pee, okay?
Just give us your medication.
Well, you have to fight me for it.
Okay.
If
That's what it takes.
Pat enters.
No one is fighting. Stan, just give me the meds. Are you going to disobey your own mother?
Stan slowly reaches into their pocket, pulls out the meds, opens the bottle, and throws it all over the floor. The family looks at each other, then picks up everyone.
Why are there so many?
Those are my regular meds. The lethal ones are in my other pocket.
Sid charges after Stan and punches them in the face.
You make us grovel after what you put us through?
Stan goes for Sid, but Sid blocks and dodges. An actual fight ensues.
Stop!
Lucas tries to intervene.
Just let them fight.
Sid eventually wins, holding the bottle of lethal meds. He goes for the bathroom.
Don't you dare.
Sid goes into the bathroom and flushes the medication down the toilet.
No!
Stan collapses to the ground. Sid walks over to Stan and embraces them.
Tough love, bro. Tough love.
Joyce walks over and embraces both sons.
My two boys, Anak, please just come home.
I have a second bottle.
You're joking.
I'm not.
Where is it?
It's somewhere in this apartment.
Give it to us, Stan.
Well, I had a feeling you'd flush him down the toilet.
Then why did you bother telling us about the other bottle?
Stanley De La Cruz, give us that bottle.
I can't. I simply can't.
Carrie and Pat continue searching the cabinets and apartment for the other bottle.
Look, I appreciate you all coming here. I do. But it doesn't take away my want to die. You came here to talk me out of it, so go. Talk.
Fine. You want to play it that way, then talk to us too. Why? Why do you have to kill yourself?
I actually did think about your question.
And?
Because I want to be famous. Look, I already got some traction with this whole trial, and the National Museum wants me to create an exhibition of my journey here.
You would be disrespecting every person that has lost their lives to suicide.
I mean no disrespect.
But don't you see, Stan? You've already disrespected suicide survivors, making it seem like your suicide is a good thing. And now, you're making an art show?
Joseph pulls out some of the recent paintings that Stan has done.
These are actually really good.
Joseph presents a painting of Jesus and Stan at a cafe drinking espresso together.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
See? You're painting so creatively. Pat, it's a good thing that they're painting again.
I'm not saying the painting is disrespectful. It's the fact that they're not seriously in emotional pain anymore.
Well, I think it's great that Stan is healthy again.
I don't believe that, Mom.
What?
How can you say that, Sid?
Stan isn't healthy. Look at him. Them, look at them. Does that look healthy to you? I'm sorry, bro, but this is where we are at. You brought us here. But we tried. I have to say it to your face. You are not healthy, Stan. I don't care about mental health. It doesn't explain anything. Yes, it's textbook reasons why you can diagnose someone with a mental illness, but it doesn't explain why my brother isn't healthy. I've watched you calculate your death for what? For fame? It's sick. That's the point I want to make. It's sick. You are sick, Stan. And no one, not even us, can help you. But we're here. We're so here. And to think that you can still look at us and say you're going to die doesn't take away the fact that you are not healthy. So, Mom, when you try to convince yourself that Stan is healthy, just think for one moment. Stan is not Stan anymore.
Sid's right. I watched Stan disappear. You used to be my hero. I left the seminary because of you, because you lived your life. You lived. You are free. And to think that you would give that all up for one shot at a painting, or even a legacy, or even a love of art, it's all BS. It's all BS, Stan.
Hey, they made it here. They are the ones that tried to prove a case and tried to legalize their death. They did that all by themselves. And I am proud. So don't take away what my son did. That's all I have left.
You're proud of what Stan did, Lola?
Yes, Gary, I am. Stan's trial was amazing.
But for fame, Stan?
My final piece would be my death.
That's disturbing.
You are a true artist, Stan, but a real pain in the ass.
Oh, Mom.
I didn't come out all this way just to be nice.
Go, Mom.
I'm serious. Sit down, all of you. I have something to say.
They all sit. Joyce pulls out a piece of paper.
You prepared a speech?
It's my eulogy for you, Stan. The support group had us write these as one of their activities.
Wait, you went to group therapy?
Yeah, when they let us in.
You too, Dad?
A lot has changed since you left.
Many of the support groups turned us away because they looked at your planned death as not a real suicide.
But luckily, one support group allowed us in, and we made good friends.
I want you to hear my eulogy, Stan. My dearest Stan, I wish I can say you're up in heaven. I wish I can say a lot of things. But what can a mother say when a son decides to take their own life? I'm angry with you, Stan. I know this isn't the best place to do this, but I am. I gave you life. I gave you a body, and you disrespected it. We traveled to America to give you a better life, and this is what you do with it? You have brought so much shame to this family.
Shame? At my funeral, Mom?
I have every right to say this, Stan.
You need to hear what you're leaving behind.
It's just so morbid.
So what? Life is dark. We know what it's like.
It's like, no. 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 You don't know what it's like. To stand on that tower, staring at the far floor from beneath you, ready to jump. To end it. You just want to break your neck and let it end right away. No, you do not know how much it hurts to feel so alone and effed up on meds.
Alone? You chose to be here alone.
We're here now.
Just let me do it.
It's like murder.
What? Harry?
It's like murder. You'd be murdering yourself, Uncle Stan. Now try to look at any of us in the eye and pull the trigger on us. I know what you're using is lethal medication, but it's like you're pulling a trigger on yourself. You are family. You are our family. It's almost like you're killing one of us. You actually are. It's like murder.
I can't ever kill any of you.
Well, that's good.
This is probably one of the first moments I actually thought I shouldn't do this. Well done.
1 point for our team.
Well, I can't be the only one on my team.
I'm with you, Stan.
Lucas.
I give up. I surrender.
Is this some like reverse psychology?
Wala naman akong masamang intention. I just support you. That's all we've ever done. Support you, Stan. You proved yourself Congratulations. You still have my support. You'll always have my support. What more do you want?
That's all I ever wanted.
Then fine, just do it.
I'm so confused.
If that's all you wanted, do it.
Lolo.
I'm tired of all this talking.
This is totally reverse psychology. And it's working. Oh my God.
I get it, Dad. We've always supported Stan. So why stop now?
Exactly.
There's tons of reasons.
Which we've exercised.
So we're just supposed to let him do it.
No, it's more like unconditional love and support.
I think we should pray about this.
Yes. Let's pray.
I don't think I get it.
It's not important whether you understand. You just gotta believe in Stan. Nothing's changed.
But everything's changed.
It just took us longer to come around. But once you do, it makes much more sense.
I'm really lost.
So am I.
Let's pray.
What are we praying about?
How about our lives?
That's a good idea, Joseph. I mean, we're all here. Each one of us with a purpose.
To keep Uncle Stan alive.
If it was only that simple, yeah.
But it is.
No, it's not, which is exactly the reason why we have to pray about it. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Each member does the sign of the cross at the same time, except for Stan.
Like, I can't be a part of this prayer.
Stanley de la Cruz, kneel and pray.
Suddenly, Stan listens and obeys. Stan does the sign of the cross.
Dear Lord, each one of us is here with open arms and an open heart. Please teach us what we're supposed to do here. Guide us to our purpose and allow our souls to carry forth into your power. Does anyone want to say something?
I pray for strength.
I pray for patience.
I pray for understanding.
I guess I pray for healing.
I pray for a happy ending.
Stan?
I pray for my life.
Seriously?
Can I take it back?
No.
All right, then that's what I pray for.
Holy Father, thank you for all you've given us today and for the past 2 years. Thank you for guiding us to this moment. Please foster these relationships and this family. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Stan starts convulsing. The whole family rushes to their side.
Stan!
Bro.
Uncle Stan!
They all guide Stan to lie on their side on the floor. Stan slowly stops convulsing and closes their eyes.
Let's give them some space.
All but Joyce back away, while Joyce holds Stan in her arms.
Oh, anak.
Joyce brushes her hand across Stan's face. Pat wets a towel and puts it over Stan's forehead. Stan begins to open their eyes.
Stan? I've never actually seen one of their seizures before.
It used to happen a lot when we were little.
Mom?
We're all here, Stan.
You had a seizure, Stan.
I did?
You had me worried there, bro.
The Lord is truly watching over us right now.
So,
Well, we could have lost Stan twice.
Good point.
I support you, Stan.
I do too.
I guess I do too.
And me. Always have, always will.
I saw Lola. Just now, I saw her.
And?
She said something to me, but I couldn't make it out.
Try to remember, Stan.
She was just looking at me, the way she used to when I was sad.
That's pretty profound.
I miss Lola.
Me too. And that look sort of morphed into this face I'd never seen before. And then I woke up.
What do you think she turned into?
Probably God. What? I can still believe in God.
Yeah, I'm with Pat. I think you saw God.
I may not understand what's happening right now, but I do know that I am loved.
You are so loved, Stan.
Each one of us is loved.
Oh boy, we're beginning to sound like a Hallmark card.
I'll live with Hallmark any day as long as I get to be with my family.
But wait, I still want to be famous.
Oh.
We know. Just find a different way, okay?
A different way? But I worked so hard for this one.
And we said before, Stan, we are proud of you.
We are, Stan. But we would be more proud of you if you just lived.
Yeah, like just live, Uncle Stan.
Just live.
Live, Stan.
Live.
Stan gets up and reaches into a cabinet above the kitchen sink and pulls out a wood board. Taped to the ceiling of the cabinet is the other bottle of lethal meds. Stan grabs the bottle and shows it to the family.
I'm still going to die. Just not tonight.
End of play.
Feelings too.
Can we give Chris a round of applause for writing our
So I made you all a family story post-show guide. So if you take one and pass it down, we'll talk a little bit, and then we'll enjoy some snacks. I'm almost depressed. We need alcohol. Is someone just saying we need alcohol? No. Did someone say that? Do we need alcohol? That's funny.
It's supposed to be censored.
All right. So I'll wait till everyone gets one, so I can guide you through. So for the past 5 years, my friends and I have, and some of us here, have gone out into the community with a play that I wrote called Stand, a play to help break the stigma of mental illness. And we usually have the play, which is only 30 minutes, and then we have a post-show discussion. So this is sort of like that opportunity to have that conversation that I think is really important when it comes to mental health and suicide prevention awareness. I gave you know the signs, so that's the first box. Oh, here, so you guys can see too. You can see that. What? Oh, the lights, yeah, let's turn the lights on. Because what's so great is that with the process, so from the play Stand, the 30-minute play that we go out into the community with, we usually go to mental health conferences, schools, hospitals with the play to just continue that conversation, especially within the Asian American community, because I don't know about you and your cultures, but for me growing up, it was really difficult to talk about like the hospitalizations I've been through and different things that we were doing in our own community. And So I found it really important to talk about it. So that's what we've been doing. So Family Story was my sort of intention of bringing those characters from the 30-minute and Carrie. I added the niece in this play to explore Stan's. Little spoiler alert for the 30-minute play. Stan does die. So and he dies by suicide, and that's how the play ends. But then it ends with hope because we talk about mental health being a serious issue, and then we talk to the audience, and so we rounded off with hope. That's the hope, and I hope that there's hope here as well. So I wrote it there. So I wanted to pose a. Or first, let me just mention the page. So know the signs, like read through those. It's really important that we are aware of the different signs that our friends and loved ones are showing if they are having suicidal thoughts. And then also find the words. So in the mental health first aid training that I've been through, to ask that question, are you thinking about suicide? We seem to have this thought that maybe we're implanting the idea of suicide if we ask that direct question, but it has been taught to us in our training that it is okay to ask the direct question. So if anything that you can walk away from here for, if I can give you that sort of like peace of mind, is that if ever you want to ask that question, even to young kids at this time, are you thinking of suicide is an okay question to ask. So that's also in Find the Words, and then reach out. So we have all these things. Generally brought amazing resources. Please take some home with you. It's just so, and not for just you if you want to give it to your friends or your family or people you think that may need it. But this has been, and then finally, if you want to point your phone at the QR code for providing feedback, I have a few questions for you. So if you do have some time, I would really appreciate it. It would be really helpful for me to continue developing the play. I'm open to all feedback. I love rewriting. It's changed. We have my Tito is here, Tito Jean. He was a part of the workshops that we were a part of. He played Lucas in our workshops that we had. We were literally in Jonathan's house, in Jennifer's house, working through the scenes. The whole openings, a lot of it's different from like 2019 to now. So I'm always open to changing and making it work. And so you are a part of that process. So I'm so grateful for you. So give yourselves a round of applause for being here. So we'll take a moment to open it up to the cast. What are you bringing out? What are you bringing with you from this reading? I'm just curious. Anyone can speak?
Just the importance of, just either having hope and speaking about like the different issues, to not treat it as a taboo subject. It needs to be talked about, and just shedding more light to it, I guess, and stuff like this, like finding the right words to tell someone, like, are you thinking about suicide?
I think for me, I think what it told me or said to me was it was okay to be confused about what our reactions are when our loved one is going through it. At first you're angry, you're in denial, you want to challenge them, you're mad at them, all of these things. And even when you feel at the end like, gosh, he's going to do it anyways, I may just as well just love him through this process, it's still a really difficult thing to sort of give into. And so I can only imagine that in a real life scenario, that you would feel all of those emotions. And I think it's probably okay. It's kind of what you wrote into the character was it was okay to have all those different, to even feel like at the end you have to say, I love you, and I'm just here to support you and understand you. That was hard though. It was really hard.
Yeah, because we were in rehearsals, we were playing with the idea of the reverse psychology tactic that the father uses, right? When he's like, okay, I support you. But they were sort of perceiving it that it was a reverse psychology tactic, but when I was writing it, I actually wrote Lucas like he succumbed to that thought, and said, okay, I support you. And then I wanted Pat to get to that level too, so that there was that push and pull within the family. And then Carrie sort of being on the fence, and then so you have like 3 people on this side, 3 people on this side, Carrie in the middle. So I wanted to create that dynamic. So like I can definitely work on that scene to like really show that push and pull. But yeah. So you went there, Rachel, so thank you.
That was hard, yes.
Yeah. What was does anyone want to answer that question before I move on to the next question?
No, I just wanted to add to that. It's really difficult. You know, it's always a calculated risk. I mean, when we were rehearsing it, and when I first read the script and I thought, okay, it's reverse psychology. Yeah, you could use reverse psychology, but it's a real risk. Because of course, once you give somebody your support, there's a chance that they'll, okay, it's okay, I'll do it. And of course, as a father, you know, that's not what you want. And but I also, the one thing that I really want to come out, we need to break the stigma, because it's still here, and it's really still happening. Mental health is a real issue, and it's really hard for older Filipino families. And I'm 54, so I'm right in that cusp of an older generation and a younger generation where you try to mix it, and you try to be you find the right balance. And yeah, I think it will help a lot of kids if more adults understand that mental health is a real issue and be more supportive.
Yeah, my hope is that, because there's a difference between bringing a 30-minute play to the community and then having an actual full-length play where people can decide to show up about this. We sort of, what's the word? We didn't really write too much on the invite about what the play is about, so we didn't trick you, but but we definitely put you there. But yeah, so yeah. I'm curious, what is, for you as the cast, what was the most difficult subject matter in this for you to tackle as an actor in this piece, or as a stage directions?
So the thing with me, I'm not an actor, by the way.
It's
This
hard.
is important because my mom is like super religious. Like, it is a taboo subject. Like, she would be embarrassed even to talk about it. But I've seen like her friends, that she has friends that have kids that did the deed or whatever, and like afterwards they were like, why did this happen? Oh my God, like this and that. She was so smart. She had her future, and it's like, they just don't talk. Like, it's just so important to like talk about it, and it's not a taboo subject. It's important. Like, it's just, I don't know. It was important to me.
Yeah, like to talk. Like, that was when I was first writing this. I was focusing on Stan's death, but then I'm like, wait, no, this has to be about something else. Like, it can't be about his death, because why would anyone want to sit through that? So I said, why don't I focus on family communication? Like, why don't I focus on a family, especially a Filipino-American family, that not only uses their correct pronouns. Let's address that. The father, like, throughout the whole piece, was able to do that. But like, it's about communication, not only about suicide prevention, but about communication. I wanted to show a family like that does that. You know, that really just talks, that's not afraid to talk about any subject. And I think that's what I want to encourage other families to do too. So that's a huge reason why. Anybody else have a difficult subject that they tackled in this piece? Yeah.
It's still difficult for me to come to terms with the part where Lucas comes to terms with it.
Yeah, you've been battling me on that. A lot.
That's my personal thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's a piece with Pat, because even though Pat's an in-law, she loves this family like it's her own family. And she respects Lucas as the dad, as the head of this family. And so when he finally gives into it, then Pat feels for him, wants to support him, show her love in that way. But then when she turns to Sid and says, it's not for you to understand, it's for you to trust Stan, nothing's changed. And I have to say, the first time that I read that, I kept thinking, nothing's changed, Stan is gonna take his life no matter what. And then when I thought, oh no, how am I gonna get to the place where I have to accept this and support Dad, I had to do, nothing's changed with me, my feelings. So it's not for us to understand, it's for us to trust Stan, but nothing's changed. And that was really hard for me to do.
I mean, the chills, like, yeah, I read that when, I felt that when you delivered that line, so, well done.
That was my hardest.
So, this is your opportunity. Do you have any questions for the cast or for myself before we end?
I do. I want to first say, oh my God. It was beautiful. As somebody who understands and who's lost people, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. It's well done. It's beautifully written. It was beautiful. We'll put it that way. But I will say this is needed in today's society. I could see this on Netflix. I could see this on YouTube in point of views from different cultures. And the African American community, they'll straight up say, we don't kill ourselves. We go to church. Or you sound dumb, you need to pray somewhere. In the Filipino community, it's, you're crazy. Something's wrong with you. You need to go to a hospital. And if you take medication, you're crazy. So for me to have the opportunity to have experienced these different things, I think that it would be amazing if you opened it up and really told multiple stories, because the way that this was written, I can't even put a finger on it. I'd have to put 10 toes and 10 fingers on everything. But just speaking from my experience, and I used to work with the Department of Family Services, so I worked with kids in foster care, and unfortunately I've lost more than I'd like to admit who have completed suicide. We learned in training that we try not to say committed, because you don't really commit to the choice, you get forced to when you're mentally ill. And a lot of my kids who have had diagnosis from bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, all the different letters that come after, they have literally told me from the ages of like 8 to 17, I give up. I don't want to hear the voices anymore. I don't want to fight myself anymore. I don't want to feel this like cloud that's chasing me no matter how happy I feel in the morning. I don't want to tell myself I want to die at night. So to tell these stories and to hear the different point of views, it's necessary. It's a conversation. It's not a luxury. It's something that needs to happen. And I did put like a children's mobile crisis pamphlet over there. There's some adult resources there as well. And briefly to say like how, Sonny, you said it's kind of like a risk when you ask, do you want to hurt yourself? You never know the right thing to say. You can have like the perfect rapport with your sibling or with your best friend, and you can tell yourself like, oh, if I ask them this, they'll know like not to hurt themselves. But you'll never know. But the thing is, you try, and you give them your best shot. You give them your effort. And I've learned to talk my head off with my kids at work to try to prevent something. I'll ask, do you want to hurt yourself? Are you thinking of self-harming? Are you thinking of suicide? Are you thinking of making a bad choice? Are you thinking of anything that I listed or not on the list? Just tell me and we'll talk about it. But it was beautiful. and it was well done. And I was actually scared to walk in here because I was like, Rachel forewarned me. She was like, it's heavy, and I just lost, one of my kiddos, and so I was like, I'm probably gonna walk out of here in tears, but thank you for this. Like, thank you. It's beautiful. And to see that you've thought about multiple conclusions, because sometimes we win and sometimes we lose. I like that you took yourself there and you challenged yourself to write that. So thank you.
You're welcome. It's a challenge. My parents ask me every day, well, when I'm doing this, when I'm writing it, they're like, are you thinking about suicide? Are you thinking about it? And I have to check in with them every now and then and just go, no, I'm good. I'm gonna live and everything. So, but yeah, it's a challenge, but it's a challenge worth taking. I think, especially now.
I have a question.
Yes.
What was it like writing this? What was the experience of writing it?
I in February actually, I called the Lifeline, and I was put on hold for 15 minutes before I got through to a crisis counselor. But still, it's a good service because and I even the crisis counselor had me wake up my parents, and then I have this app called My3, the My3 app, where it has you reach out to 3 important people in your life if you are having suicidal thoughts. And there's also a safety plan that I wrote in there. So the mobile crisis counselor, the crisis counselor was telling me to go to do that safety plan. So it said, I told them to hide all the knives, so I put that in the script. So what is it like for me? It's saving my life. Like, I learned during a reading of it in March, we had a reading on Zoom, and when they were saying the lines like, live, Stan, just live, like, I was realizing I needed to hear it, because that was March, and I had just had my suicidal thoughts in February. So for me to head face on, right, like with what I wrote, so what is it like? It's literally like thinking about ending my life and how all my family would react to that. Like, so it's a process. It's therapeutic. It's really challenging, and it's my life. So it reminds me that I have to live. So that's what it's like writing it.
Beautiful. Thank you.
If I can say, I love, if that's kind of your experience in writing it, I love how you surrounded yourself with people who loved you, and they told you how much they loved you in the script. You wrote that for yourself. And I could, new, but just in going through it with everybody, I could see and hear myself and any other like family member and a person who loves a person going through that say all of those different words. So that was pretty powerful, very thoughtful in how you wrote it out.
Thanks. That's cool how you could like be someone in this piece. Like you could, oh yeah, I would say something like that, or I would.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool. All right. With that, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Enjoy the snacks, please.